shortly on my end as well, but it'll be a different process for me, so I'm going to need a couple seconds. But we're all good.
Hey, and I think we are live here on YouTube, I think. Let's see what happens here on YouTube. Hey, there we are. We are. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to shut us off there. We are definitely live on YouTube. It is Ultrazilla and Steven's Toy Reviews. And yeah, we're gonna be talking some Monsterarts here tonight. We got some news breaking just a couple of hours ago, and we've had some news the last couple of days. So we shall see. We got the TAMASHII Features Monsterarts panel happening at midnight Eastern time here, and which is 1 p.m. Tokyo time. So that'll be interesting. But we got a lot to talk about before then. So welcome everybody that's coming aboard. I see Kaiju Odani. I see Godzilla 154 in the house. I see Luminous in the house. Goji 1993 Productions. Super Mario Zilla is here as well. So it's a party already, which is nice.
Yes, it is. And I am live now on my end, or at least I should be. So we are now broadcasting to both channels. So for those of you who may be joining in on my end, you may be getting the notification just now. You're seeing a nice view of the new Monsterarts Biolante special color version to be released in December for approximately $300. But yes, again, we're joined here with Ultrazilla. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I'm Steven.
So Biolante, you mentioned him. You have him up. Let's talk about this. That is a biggie. Something a lot of folks have wanted for a long time.
To say the least, folks not only have wanted it, but at the same time, it seems like there are some folks who may want to delay on getting that, hoping that, price may come down or not.
Yeah.
But the big issue here is that we have a window for folks who have a figure now where they can buy it. We have a confirmed release date. We have a confirmed price. Pre-order it. Or be comfortable sitting out.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. It's not going to happen again. So, get it now and just get it now. It's a lot more pricey than the original one was, but the original one on the aftermarket is going for what, Steven?
Someone earlier this year, back in February, the meme has been going around, bought it for $1,000.
That is a lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money. So definitely jump aboard this because it's not going to happen again for sure. So I want to try something out here on my channel. Kaiju Odani says, Ultrazilla, I wonder if there will be an SH Figuarts Devilman figure. So which Devilman are we talking? I'm thinking one of the later ones, because the original one was made into a Figuarts not that long ago, and it's actually a really beautiful figure that I reviewed. So I doubt it. That we get another Figuarts Devilman from that one, like that old one, maybe one of the more modern versions of Devilman, the anime one, maybe the new Netflix one, the new-ish one.
Regarding Devilman, I personally don't necessarily have anything, let's say, to invest in it, but I do know that there is a Figma that I think is to be released of an original design by Takia, like he did for Big Chap and the Predator from Predator 2. I will say, though, it is definitely going to be overpriced. So if you're a fan of that sort of redesign, then definitely it looks to be good. But at the same time, expensive.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And right, Figma has done that one. Right, the only one we haven't seen is the Crybaby version, the Netflix, which I've never watched. But getting back to Biolante, what we got here is like just a it's honestly, if you have the original, and this is what me and Steven were talking about right before we started here, if you have the original, I feel like it's a hard investment to go in. I only like see, and we got some nice turnarounds going on at Tamashi's site. All I can see is brown, some new browns added in. For me personally, on the price, unless there's like some effect parts come in with this, I don't see myself getting it, unless I just get it for the channel.
Right. The original, for those who may not remember, it has a light up feature. That's about it. And even then, the light up feature, it's either going to be red or yellow, nothing in between, no pulsating, no strobe effect, anything like that. So it's okay. We got to see Vines, a return of the light feature, and hopefully there's something else, because we kind of have to see something for those who originally purchased it to invest again. And then likewise, there still needs to be also that value for those who may want the original, because if they're just going to release it as is, well, we know, unfortunately, there will be folks who want to get that original. And Bandai will lose money. So,
yeah, I agree. So the other reveal was the GMK Radiant, whatever it's called.
Yes, I believe it is the Radiant Heat Ray version, and we do know that this one seems to be a bit mixed, because NECA did theirs, which... and there are folks who are kind of in between on this one. I like it. I think it looks good. I think the dorsal plates, we do have a nice bleed effect going from blue to a nice icy white at the tips, but there are some folks who really don't like that. There have been a couple of customs that I've seen out there. One recently that's popped up where it looks very good, which look great. But otherwise, I think this is an okay purchase on my end.
Definitely. I'm getting it.
Make a beam. Include a beam.
Right. I that would be nice. I'm definitely getting it. I think I've always liked when GMK has lit up, like I always thought that looked great. And I think this looks pretty good. Definitely better than the NECA, in my opinion, which I thought was kind of messy. So yeah, definitely for me, because it's also under $100, just under $100. But I will get it. And I really loved the original version of that mold. I know a lot of folks didn't like it, but I liked it a lot.
My review of it, because I had a lot of quality control issues, I think the paint for the price didn't necessarily match up. But I think that ultimately it was a good figure. If they can make it better here, then absolutely. Just include a beam. I would also like to see a mushroom cloud effect.
Oh, like some sort of something that you could put in the background or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So the next thing we got to talk about is, well, we have a lot to talk about, honestly. But, guys, if you have any questions regarding this, set them up here and we will check them out as we can. I don't know, Steven, because you're streaming from mine, I don't know if you're just mirroring mine. I don't know if you could grab things like I can, like these questions.
I am only able to see the questions that you are putting up on your end, but I do have an interesting point or two over here. Some folks talking about the price point of the new figures that have been announced. Liking Biolante, wondering what the price. Again, the price for Biolante is going to be about $300 plus or minus some because of the yen conversion. As was said, GMK is going to be about 100. Some folks were asking about a rose form, which I agree. We definitely need to see. But Ultrazilla there, I think you're leading into something that was also revealed today at just a couple hours ago. So if you wanted to go ahead and lean on into that, please do so.
Yeah, so we got, and this is an announcement from Bluefin, actually. They made a few announcements. We'll only talk about the Godzilla here since we're like going specific here with SH. But they're doing a translucent blue Godzilla, which I'm assuming Godzilla 2019. I'm assuming it's the same one that we got with the poster version, just without the paint over it. But this had to have been the SDCC exclusive for this, and it's going to be available on the Bandai Premium US site on July 16th. I believe at 6 p.m. I think I saw.
Yes,
So.
I do believe there was talk about it. I saw on Twitter about how they were changing the time. I don't know about that specifically, but I believe it's the 16th until the end of this month. So you have about 15 or so days. Actually, I think it's 15 on the dot. I don't do math for a living. So if you're looking to get it, you have plenty of time to do so. So this definitely looks like an interesting purchase for those who are looking to get it. On my end, I'm about to throw a picture up of it. So yes, it's interesting. I'll say that it looks fun to say the least.
It does. All right, guys, something I want to say as we're approaching the time, like Steven on his end, and we're trying to make this a nice interactive feel between channels here. So I see a lot of questions on Steven's end, like flying through. So if you want to get your question answered more specifically and see it on screen, hop over onto my channel. Leave your question there. Check out all the images on Steven's channel, and I think that's a great way to go. We'll show another question right now. Johnny C. Walker says, "Are there any Biollante X Plus or of the same quality at the top of your head that could scale closely with the SHM Godzilla figures?" Whew, well, there's only one big Biollante that I know of that was released rather recently in the last few years from X Plus, and that is huge. I think though the KKK, unfortunately titled Godzilla from SH Monsterarts, might scale okay with that one.
I've seen a couple of pictures myself. It scales decently, nothing over the top.
Right.
It's not great. It just kind of barely makes it, just because of the height. So if you're looking to get Her Majesty, no, there's no X Plus aside from the 25 centimeter scale one. But in regarding Godzilla 89, well, you're pretty much looking at now with the aftermarket prices going for. You might as well just get the X Plus or waiting for the NECA to come out to scale with the Monsterarts.
Absolutely. I think the NECA is going to scale nicely with that Monsterarts. And I have a feeling that NECA is going to go pretty quick. If you haven't put in a pre-order anywhere, I suggest you might want to, because with a new Biollante coming out, that NECA is going to be a lot more valuable to a lot of people.
Yes, and that's also something else that's been pointed out plenty of times. They're going to get one figure and or the other to complement. So, yeah. And as pointed out by somebody on my end, the Biollante Bio figure is going to be a hot seller. Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
It will be, especially if there is an effect part that is revealed for the new one.
So our pal Super Mario Zilla says he doesn't know how he feels about the all blue Godzilla. It's an interesting choice. I don't know. It's just one of those like weird con variants. We don't get them that often. I guess the Explosion Godzilla was the last time they did anything quite like that, where it was just like, here's a orange Godzilla, which doesn't really look like anything. So we don't really get those in the line too much. I like it personally. I would love to see more of that, honestly, especially for like con exclusives. That's fun because it's something you don't have to get, you don't need. So for me, that's great.
Right. There's a lot of stuff coming out right now that if you already have it, you're good to go. This is a repaint. There's no need to get this except for folks who maybe missed out on it. Or if you're a completionist, then hey, more power to you. But at that point, maybe consider donating some money to charity as well if you're going to double dip that much.
Yeah. I hear you. But I like it. I think it's cool. It's going to be $88, and it's going to come out in August. It's really quickly going to be upon us. So I think that's pretty awesome. Takaju says, "Is there any news for any SH Figuarts Ultraman line?" And I haven't seen anything yet. Nothing at all.
No, I haven't seen anything on from what I've been looking at. It looks like for this event they're focusing on the Dragon, because with TAMASHI features this time they're actually doing everything's online because of COVID-19. There's a virtual display room, which I'll go ahead and I'll link on my end in my chat. I think maybe you've done the same. I don't remember if you said, but you can look at all of the new reveals and a 360 spin view. And I think Ultraman has a minimal presence, if any. But anyway, there's Dragon Ball because, again, it's virtual, available worldwide. Dragon Ball is a humongous seller in the US. We do have Eva for Evangelion that's there. We
Huge
apparently have
presence.
some Gundam stuff. And now apparently we have Monsterarts with Godzilla and Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so that brings us to another question here. What are your guys' thoughts on the scale of the Monster Hunter figures? I'm pretty impressed personally, especially by Rathalos, and that's from Rafi.
Yeah, scale-wise, bring on the big boys.
Who are the big boys? You know better than me.
Yeah, so what we're going to be looking at is...
I haven't played Monster Hunter since the Wii.
Okay, so essentially, if they're going to be going off of what is popular, we're going to be hopefully seeing Devil Joe. We're going to be seeing Safi Jiva, probably Anjanath, all sort of T-Rex, brute wyvern monsters. Those are all big, so hopefully we can see them. Glavenus, as someone made mention over on my end, that would be good, but yes, tail may cause a problem. What else are we looking at? We're looking at Zinogre, or if you go with how it was popular. Announced back then, Jinauga. I like that's a better pronunciation. There are so many other ones that let's see them first before we can say that this is going to be an awesome line, because what they have so far looks good, but they can definitely show more, and I need to see more, and hopefully we'll be seeing that in about the next 15 or so minutes.
Yeah, I think we've been speculating that if anything, we're gonna, because they've already like, spoiled a lot of things. So if anything, we'll probably see something from Monster Hunter, because they've been going very, very hard on this, pushing this. So I feel like that is something that we might see coming up right now, which would be awesome. Because these figures look amazing. The Rathalos looks insanely huge. It looks like about the size of the King Ghidorah 2019. That wingspan is tremendous. Looks great. I'm really looking forward to these figures. Something different in the line is welcomed.
Right. They've tried different before, and it didn't work.
No. But,
No. But this one looks like it should be better.
I think so. It just looks good. It fits well. So I don't know. I think hopefully it gets supported, because not only will supporting this help out the entire line, it'll help them get more, try to pursue other licenses. That's how these things go. If their pursuit of the license, doesn't, bring in any money, then what's the point? So I think if you like the way these look, I think you should hop aboard. And I think the prices are pretty good for what we're getting.
Right. And as someone pointed out, from what I'm seeing in comments, that Rathalos completely blows King Ghidorah 2019 out of the water. And as I'm looking up at King Ghidorah, I absolutely agree. At just eyeballing the comparison that we saw on the show floor with what they had, there's no reason why they couldn't have included folded wing Dora, even if it would have rounded it up to an even 2. They should have just done that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they're able to accomplish here with the Monsterarts line because of Monster Hunter potentially having a lower licensing cost, and then hopefully also some folks say, "Huh, what been dropped along the way."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Got another question here that I want to answer because no Figuarts Ultraman Z. We already discussed that so far no presence on of Ultraman. I would love to see Ultraman Z as Figuarts. I watched the first 3 episodes, watched episode 3 tonight, and I really, really like it. So that could be a really fun, thing. I got the Ultra action figure here, which is really cool, of Ultraman Z. Review coming shortly. I already started it tonight.
Cool. I haven't watched it. I've been meaning to, and maybe that's something that can be done because something like this is possible now. So, hey, anything can happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. One thing that I'm really excited that is at the show, and you briefly mentioned that has a presence, there's a new EVA 01. I know there's a lot of crossover with fans of kaiju, so I want to talk about that a little bit. We're getting like a 16-inch EVA 01, and this is interesting because a lot of people talking about how pricing is like kind of up. Here's something that's about $160, 16 inches, has some diecast, not a ton, and it looks amazing. And it's they're touting the articulation on this thing is going to be phenomenal. So it's something I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. Like, hopefully it comes out in December. Also, this might be a thing where I have to decide on Biollante versus this EVA for the month of December. And I might get this EVA 01 because it just looks gorgeous.
I am sort of at a crossroads because I don't like. Oh, this is going to be a hot take, and I'm just waiting for the viewership to go. Pew. I don't like Evangelion. I don't like most of what Anno has done. I hate to say that, but I love the designs that have come out of his work. It's fantastic. I binged the original anime when I was working in my undergrad for college, and I was so disappointed, but I kept saying, I love this angel. I love how they presented this mech. So I'm fine with any of the merchandise. I'm fine with seeing the progression. And this Dyna action, however you're going to pronounce it, 400 millimeters. That just seems amazing. And then we have the Gridman coming out from, I think it's Max Factory, under the Good Smile label, whatever it may be.
The big one,
the giant Figma. That's going to be awesome. So
that's a good call.
Bring it on.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely into that. So I gotta, let's see. Okay, this is a pretty general question, but we could do general questions here for the SH Monsterarts line. What kind of kaiju would you love to see? I want them to start announcing some Kong stuff, but man, that movie is like killing everything, killing every toy company, pushing everybody back. So honestly, I start giving me stuff from the Godzilla versus Kong and I'll be happy, but that's really hurting everything.
Yeah. I kind of feel like right now we're seeing companies just grab something to fill that gap, which is probably why we saw Playmates do what they did the end of last year, beginning of this year, because of the movie delay. And then now we just have releases that are coming out from Tamashii Nations to fill in that gap during the time frame when they would have had product out. NECA, they're put on hold because I'm pretty sure, this is a best guess, I'm pretty sure that their hiatus surrounds the fact that Playmates had the master license for the time span that Godzilla vs. Kong was supposed to be in theaters. Okay, this is out. their product ends, and then it'll go back to whoever had it before. Well, now that's delayed probably into May, into what, maybe October of next year. So now this is all just a headache for everyone, and no one comes out on top.
No. And you know what? There's no guarantee the situation we are in the world is going to get any better. None. So for them to be pushing it back, unless there's something wrong with the movie, and I have a feeling there is, like, you know, like they should really start making plans to do, like, you know, this digital, like, $20 rental, because they'll make a lot of money off that anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And I think they would do, I think they would probably make more money off of that, and it would be better off because I think it was Legendary who partnered with somebody else to do a watch along of all the MonsterVerse movies that have been out so far. Twitter blew up. So if we can get everybody to just rent it for a weekend, have another one of these watch along parties, which, you know, hey, maybe we can do something like that coming up at the end of July. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. On a quick note, because we're almost getting ready for the presentation, I'm seeing a couple of folks keep asking me about Monsterarts Muto figures, male and female from 2014. I want to see them. I know you and I have discussed about a particular one or set that has been posted almost in a viral marketing campaign in certain groups. I won't mention any names, but I would love to see them. So
I would love to see him as well. Something official would be nice. But you know what? If there was a really nice looking third party one, I'd probably go for it. I haven't seen that yet though. It'd be cool if our dude that made the Kong would make it. That would be cool. He did a good job on that little Kong, so I would love to see that. Let's see. We got 11:57. See if I got any other questions here. That's good.
Well, you're taking a look for some questions there. I just wanted to point out that, again, the purpose of this is to first chat about some stuff that was announced recently, and then at midnight Eastern time, there is going to be an event with TAMASHI Features where they are going to be, and that premiere is starting in less than a minute, apparently, according to YouTube, because I am here. They're going to be doing a presentation for Monsterarts. We don't know if it's going to be focusing on Monster Hunter or if it's going to be the line in general. So Ultrazilla and I are here. We're kind of hosting a watch along, and we'll be responding to whatever they may show. So head on over. I dropped the link in my chat a couple of times. It's on the official Bandai Spirits page. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop it again right now for those folks who need it. And that's
dropping it as well. Here is the link on my end as well.
And looking at, they're talking about Monster Hunter monsters, Godzilla kaiju. Not too many questions, but still.
How do you think a 1998 Godzilla would sell? I think it would sell pretty good. I'd be on it right away. Like, no questions asked. Let's do it.
Do it. Get it over with.
Always a fun one. Yeah, I would definitely have no problem with that.
For those of you who are not aware, there is Zamasu from Dragon Ball Super, who is announced to only be available to North America through the USAP Bandai site. Can't get it in Japan, can't get it in Europe. You can if you know people who can get it to you. Do that, because apparently America is the only place that wants it. Do that, you're fine.
Do you still see me, by the way?
I do.
Okay, because I don't see my StreamYard anymore. Where did that? Yeah. Let's see. I get back in here. I'm getting back. All right. Enter. Oh. Let me see. All right, hold on. There we are.
Okay. So this is very odd because I'm taking a look at this. It's saying it started streaming 3 minutes ago for the Monsterarts presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Just popped up. All right, so we got someone who's dancing. So you're probably going to be able to hear it very faintly if you're on my end, just because the way that I have everything set up, it has to send all of the audio that's through my computer into my streaming. So I wish I knew what they were saying, though. Okay, so we do see the Godzilla stuff, so they're at least there. Okay, focusing in.
They do look good.
Yeah. Hoping we do see something else Godzilla related. That's not going to be Blueberry Pie Godzilla.
Yeah. We're having some technical issue now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. The sound is off. No, what happened here? Oh, say
no.
sound is back, guys.
Wow. This is very funny to me because this reminds me of some of the Pokemon shows that they would do on the weekends where it's nothing big. It's something we've already seen before, but they hype it up. Let me try something here.
Those really look great.
Now, Nargacuga has the chance for 2 more that I know of off the top of my head repaints. It's going to be a green one and then a really cool moon-themed one where it's all blue and white. Lucent Narga.
Yeah. You would figure they're gonna want to get like some extra mold cash from this.
Yep.
Okay. Man, that looks great.
So now that he's pointing at the tail, they used the barbed tail tip, which for those of you who haven't played Monster Hunter, Nargacuga can flick its tail and it can shoot barbs out. Or
That's
it can
awesome.
slam its tail down, and when it slams its tail, it shoots out barbs. So one of the things you can do is cut the tail off, and in some games that helps to stop that from happening. But good luck cutting the tail off, because it likes to move around a lot.
I am loving how these look.
I don't know. He's getting in very close, almost like he's never seen something that looks good before. He's like, he might fuse with it.
I do I like this guy's reviews a lot. If you've never watched it, Utafa, he does a lot of super robots, a lot of Transformers. So
I can't really say that I've had the chance to check him out too much. Unfortunately, I mostly stick to images
yeah.
when stuff first hits, and then later on.
Johnny C. Walker has another question. Do you think we can get Liga Crus someday? Who's that? I don't know which one that is.
Lagiacrus. So,
Lagiacrus.
Monster Hunter Tri, the flagship monster. It's Leviathan. It's really cool. Kind of looks like the Loch Ness monster, but it's significantly more deadly because it has what are called shell shockers on the back of it, and it can just electrocute everything.
Mm.
So look up. Well, it has two subspecies: Ivory, all white, which looks awesome, and then it has Abyssal, which it is only in water, and it's all black with essentially neon blue. So that color combination alone should excite you.
That does sound cool. That's his little character there. That's always on his channel.
Okay. I would say that if we happen to see Laggy, it may be when they do a sequel to Monster Hunter World, unless they are actively going back to do games like Tri or 3U in Japan, 3G. Because right now their focus is on Monster Hunter World. Because the Rathalos and Nargacuga models, for those of you who are not familiar, they did actually change them up. I believe they actually had to change all of the models from previous Monster Hunter games, and those are more accurate to the world models than what we've seen in the past. Somebody in the chat for Monsterarts is asking about Dragon Ball.
That happens.
Talking about support for the wings, which they definitely could have done a better job of for King Ghidorah, but c'est la vie. All right, so they just dropped a comment about the price for Rathalos and the release date, October 2020, 13,200 yen. So I'm hoping this means I'll move on to the next one, because it's not that I don't like talking about Monster Hunter monsters, but we kind of know this information.
Yeah. I mean, I'm loving looking at them, honestly. They just look so good. I hope everybody is as excited as we are for them. And obviously, you're going to see them on our channels here.
The only issue that I have looking at it well, not right now because it's not on the screen, is it looks a little too brown and or gray. It almost looks dusty, but even then, that's just personal opinion.
See, for me, though, if the figures are good, it's just going to be like, if the figures look good overall, I'm not going to be like comparing them to anything. So they just have to impress me as figures. But speaking of impressive, I really think this GMK looks so cool. That is perfect.
Yeah, looking at it here, admittedly, I can't watch it in HD, the stream in HD, but it does look good.
That is beautiful. That's going to be a definite for me. So Mr. Cake wants to know if he could have Godzilla 1962.
You're gonna send it to him, right?
Yes, you.
Oh.
Okay, I get it. Your little character's
Whoa.
next to him. Great.
Really out of focus there. I wonder why they painted the teeth blue on this guy.
I mean, his mouth is definitely lit up. When he charges up, his mouth gets lit up for a second before. So I guess that's the effect they're going for. I mean, you know, NECA did it as well, but man, that NECA's forget about.
Yes.
Now, I don't, like we were saying earlier before the stream, I don't know if NECA's newer version in the cool box looks any better, but the original one was not good.
Yeah, it's negligibly better. But for this, what I'm talking about, for his teeth, if the light is and you're an artist, so you'll know what I'm talking about. If the light is coming from inside,
right?
Why is the outside painted exactly the same as the in? That doesn't make any sense. I
That's
know why,
true.
because of cost, and it's this big, but it's just gonna bug me.
Yeah. Dorsal fins look pretty good though. Not bad.
Yeah, the promo stuff that they've released so far, obviously it's going to look better because it, you know, they got to get the light perfect and all that. But yeah, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Just confirm if it's got a beam. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Confirm the beam.
And there's a page up already for these guys, and there's nothing there. So I don't know. I hope so. I mean, the thing with this particular Godzilla is, you know, they don't have to do a beam because this is the charging up before the beam. So there's that part of it. So we might not get a beam.
Wow.
So, got another question for you, Steven. Hey, Steven. So there is two Monster Hunter figures. Will you be reviewing both of them?
All of them.
Whatever they send out. And here we have now, they're looking at the Biollante. And this I'm really curious about. So I see some yellow in there as well now. He's definitely yellows and browns.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's when I'm very on the fence about, oh, you're going ahead and grabbing yours.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not that much different. There are yellows and browns here that I didn't remember. What is the special color? There's more yellow on top, I think.
Yeah, it looks a bit more, it looks dirtier.
Yeah. Yeah, around the heart here, it does, you can see a little more. There's definitely more to it, but I forget, like, and I definitely forgot, you know, coming into this, how much color that this one has. In my mind's eye, I was thinking it was just more green, and it's not. There is a lot of color on this. So, yeah, I don't know.
Another thing I want to make mention
and I knocked off all his tentacles as I was taking them.
wanted to make mention of is some folks may be seeing that the thorns, the spikes on her do look like they blend in very well.
Mm-hmm.
The original prototype for the one that's already released looked exactly the same, and they just used glossy black paint for those. Notice around this time frame, so we're at about 18 minutes or so in, you can see on the thorns that there's already paint chipping, specifically the right front one. My eye just caught that. So I'm wondering if they just took the original prototype, painted it a little differently, and put it out.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else really different about it. Let's see.
Which, hey.
Yeah.
Okay. People can get it again.
Fellow YouTuber Luminous wants to know, is the interior red less bright? That was hard to tell. I couldn't really tell.
I'm going to say no. Looking at mine, looking at this, I mean, admittedly, my glasses are off, so I can't see it perfectly, but that was something that I really looked at all day today, looking at the one we have here that's spinning on my screen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It looks kind of the same.
Yeah, it looks the same to me.
All right, we've talked about all 4 reveals. Now you're probably going to talk about Blueberry Godzilla.
Maybe. Because that's a Bluefin exclusive, so they might not even... They might, but... Well, not really. It's a Bandai Premium, right?
I think that it's... Yeah, I think it's supposed to be an event exclusive, so available at SDCC. Anywhere else they're going to have an event in the world, and then also at Tamashii Nation later this year. Because that's what they've done with the Dragon Ball exclusives. Whenever they've done the Dragon Ball tour, they've labeled it event exclusive color edition, which they did for this Godzilla. So I'm thinking that's the same deal. And because they now have a working, functional USP Bandai, that's what they're doing, which great. As I drop a part of my tripod that I'm not using right now. Cool.
Show us something else.
Yep.
Come on. Let's see one other thing here. I still think it without anything extra, man, this Biollante is going to be a hard one for me to get. That's too pricey, I think. That's way more than it was.
Yeah, it will definitely be a hard sell to those who are not in this 100% or didn't get the first one.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, man, I'm looking at mine, looking at that one. It is not that much different.
Plus, it's the prototype. So, what may be different on the final product?
Right.
I don't know. Saying there will be a significant difference on the final product, but if we're not seeing a huge difference now, because we all know that there will be a change in paint applications from the prototype to the final product, what will that change look like compared to what is already released?
Mm-hmm.
Some points out over here, the back is more green, which I don't know.
The back is pretty green. Here, I'll bring this back. It's not that like I lost another tentacle.
Good job.
I mean, honestly, the more I look at this, the more I look at that, it doesn't look any different. I feel like that is the same prototype as the original.
And it could very well be. And if it is, then I mean, hey, they're just saving resources.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, there we go. YouTube went out on me for a second.
Uh-oh.
But we're good.
Folks, if you have any final questions, I don't know how long we'll talk afterwards, but please send them over. You want to do them on Steven's side or my side, feel free to come over and get your question lit up in front of us. That's always fun. Something new that I'm trying here.
Yeah,
which is actually nice. I do like it.
Yeah, on that note for for chat, it looks like there are some folks over in the presentation stream who are losing their minds at the price point for Biolante.
Yeah, I see that.
It's way too expensive.
Yeah.
I'm seeing in Japanese the repetition of the nearly 31,000 yen. I mean, not that I'm defending it, but do keep in mind that the original was released how long ago? So,
yeah, prices definitely do change, and they have. So, I mean, all the prices across the board have changed. But on the same token, I feel like the Monster Hunter stuff is actually reasonably priced for the size. So, I don't know. And like I said, that EVA 01 looks like a really great deal as well.
better than the $1,500 aftermarket price.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I didn't see the person who bought the one at G-Fest a couple years ago, but
here's a very interesting question. Do you think they might be reissuing figures to recover from the sales loss since COVID-19?
Yes and no.
It's possible, but I don't know. I feel like reissuing figures right now or doing another line like Monsterarts, all of that is due to, the Kong Godzilla movie being pushed back. Fill in the gaps, like Steven said earlier. Yep. I think that's the biggest part of that. I don't think we're going to get anything else revealed here. I think this is it.
Could very well be.
They don't seem in any rush to be doing anything else.
No. I'm going to assume that they're going to go for a full half hour, so we got about another... It says streaming 26 minutes ago, but they actually started a little late.
Mm-hmm. Steven, are you going to be reviewing the SH Monsterarts Godzilla 2019 exclusive?
Yeah. I'm going to actually look into that a bit more to see about how that can happen.
I hear what you're saying.
And regarding a previous conversation we have had about later this month, orders just so happen to close around that time as well. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hopefully something can happen.
Yeah. Now, this question is actually interesting because we have another exclusive that we need to review, but we're kind of currently in the same boat, stuck in transit somewhere. The Burning Godzilla, neither one of us have yet.
My order, I had to cancel because it was
Oh, wow.
absolutely outrageous. Yeah, so they actually refunded me,
Okay.
and I just pre-ordered one with BBTS, and I'm waiting.
Okay. You might get it before I get it. You know, mine's stuck in Zen Market's warehouse, and you know, stuck in packaging. They're still packaging it for days now. How long does it take it? So yeah, I mean that's something. You know, eventually we will review.
Yep.
Looking forward to that.
Yep, and then on my end, there's going to be so much more that's going to happen with that figure and other King of the Monsters, which you should all be able to read into what I'm talking about. They're waving. Why are you waving?
I guess we're done here. So we get no other reveals. I had a feeling 2, and then another one for the U.S. market, I guess. I think is enough. I wanted more. For the sake of this stream, I wanted more. But, you know, it is what it is. Steven he's done.
Yeah.
Let's see. Paul Hillman says, personally, he doesn't mind that Biollante is basically the same as the original, but that it probably kind of sucks for you guys. Doesn't suck for me. I'm not going to get it then. I will put my money into that EVA 01, which is much less, and much bigger. And EVA 01 has done pretty good for the channel, so I'll be happy to put my money there instead.
Yeah. Again, on this one, I don't know if I do want to. The answer is probably going to be no. Now, on this note, for those of you who are on my end, I put a particular figure up, which I have since repainted. I want to turn the discussion there for a minute. Let's go somewhere positive and a bit more speculative. No King Ghidorah 64.
Right. I said from the beginning, you know, let's not call it a bootleg till we know for sure. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still wondering where
almost
this
a year
came
later.
from.
Yeah. This is almost a year later now.
Yeah.
Here's a question that's fitting for what we're talking about right now. Can you review the SH Monsters, Mothra, and Rodan bootleg? I don't think I'm going to be. Steven?
Funny thing about that, and Godzilla 154, our discussion about that still stands. If you did not get yours on your own, I actually ordered them, and it turns out other folks have ordered them as well. And for whatever reason, the sellers have been taking the wings off of Rodan, but just have been ripping them off because they're shipping them in styrofoam containers that aren't big enough for Rodan. So the wingspan of Rodan is longer than the actual box is. So they've been ripping the wings off, but the people who are packing them, they don't know how a ball joint works, so they're just ripping them off like a silverback gorilla. So they're breaking them.
Wow. Ouch.
So it's happened to me, and I've seen at least 4 other instances of that. So I have a set. It's sitting in storage. It's broken. So,
ouch. Well, I'm kind of glad that dropped during my buying freeze that I had from between February and June. So like I was like, I'm not gonna get this. Yeah, so I didn't know about that at all. I hadn't watched anybody's reviews on it either, honestly. So
I will say one more thing on it though. If they were to have arrived in perfect condition, aside from Mothra, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a bootleg and a real thing.
Oh wow.
I will say that much. So,
and that Showa Ghidorah was pretty nice. I didn't repaint mine, but I really should. I was impressed overall with it. It was very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice sculpt. So where'd it come from? Don't know. We don't know.
Don't know. I'm still convinced it's a hijacked Bandai mold.
It's
myself.
possible. It's possible.
I am.
But I'm surprised we haven't, a year later, we have not seen it.
Yeah, no one's done anything with it.
You know,
if it is official. So
you would think at this point.
Right. So on a somewhat related note, keeping it Showa, there are so many folks talking about Showa in my chat here that I'm looking at. And one kaiju keeps coming up again and again and again, and that's Anguirus. And I'm not going to lie, I'm very surprised that they haven't touched Anguirus yet. Admittedly, the Rebel Tech
is amazing.
Very good. Yes.
It's really good.
But why haven't we seen Monsterarts yet? I mean, obviously, there's the idea that the person who's running the SH Monsterarts line at this time is a Heisei fanboy.
Yeah.
But Anguirus is a part of the Toho 6.
Yeah.
If it were to be.
I don't know. This, it's one of my favorite Toho kaiju. So I would love to get an SH Monsterarts, but as you said, I don't know. This Rebel Tech, it's the best Rebel Tech that they did. So good. So good. Well, here there. What are some SH Monsterarts figures that you guys would have liked to have seen tonight? Steven, you want to start?
Start from here. We'll end here. On the Monster Hunter end, for those of you who are playing World, we have Alatreon Spyro coming out for another title update. They definitely could have done that. Fantastic timing there. Devil Joe, again, we could have had Zenogre, Nergigante, Tomato. So many different Monster Hunter releases. For Godzilla, I'm very surprised we haven't seen Skull Island Kong.
Yeah.
Which we should have definitely seen sooner rather than later. We have a Showa Mechagodzilla. Why don't we have a Showa Godzilla counterpart to go with that? Again, Anguirus has appeared alongside Mechagodzilla. Why haven't we seen that? I think popular-wise, why not Showa Mothra or Showa Rodan? And I would like to see them grow alongside the Monsterarts line. I'll keep it vague like that to keep it PG. Where are the Gamera enemies?
Yeah. Seriously. I mean, I feel like, except for Gamera 3 there, the Gamera figures came out pretty decent. It would have been great to see something there. I don't know. What is it with that? Like, why can't we get more Gamera figures in general? I mean, the movie Monster Series piece that came out a couple months ago is gorgeous. Like, I want to see Bandai do more. Give us some more Gamera stuff. That would be awesome. Somebody else earlier in the stream, if I could find it, asked a good question. I missed it, but oh well. It was regarding the Aroke 8-headed dragon. I would love to have seen stuff from that. Obviously, we got, I forget the Robo Mecha thing's name. There was a prototype of that a long time ago now. Forget that one's name, But that movie, it's kind of like forgotten at this point. So I doubt we'll ever see anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, what may happen for those of you who follow along with Bandai, not just in the SH Monsterarts realm, but sort of as a whole, they do have the tendency to show prototypes not with the intention of necessarily releasing them. They have the intention to show them because they think that this may work, but they want feedback. What they used to actually do is put no photo placards up with the intention for you to take pictures to see how far those would spread online to generate feedback and to see how many different pictures would be taken. That comes from a former Bandai employee. With that being said, that was
Makes
around
sense.
the time where they would have the different techniques to make sure that they would get accurate feedback. But anyway, the point being is that if you look at something like Master Asia, the Figuarts, that went unreleased for years, and then finally it was released. So nothing is ever canceled. It's just put way back in the vault. And we'll probably never see it effectively canceled, but...
Well, somebody asked about the Evangelion Angels. Never going to see those. Never. Another thing locked in the vault forever.
Yeah, probably not, though I will say with the not 2.0 robot spirits that they're doing, maybe, but I don't think so.
They might just do it in the robot spirits line. You know, it's not that strange to have done it. You know, maybe, I don't know. Or you might get some Sovi spirit stuff, like the kaiju from Pacific Rim 2. Who knows?
Oh.
Because those weren't like the Angels. I don't know. They don't make for great action figures. You know?
Yeah, they're... What was it? Sakiel, the one with the gray skull for the face?
Mm-hmm.
That one? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no. The rest of them are relatively static. But, I mean, if they can release them, fantastic. That would be awesome for those who want them. If they can do them at a relatively affordable price, absolutely. You know, let's get them out there on the market for those who want them. But
to answer a NECA question, unfortunately, if you haven't heard, I'll read the question anyway. Would you like to see a NECA Godzilla 2004? Unfortunately, NECA is on a hiatus, so they won't be making any. And I do this because there's no real such thing as a hiatus on a license that I know of personally. You know, I would have loved for them to have done a 2004. I would love for anybody to do a 2004 that isn't a giant figure. But NECA won't be doing anything further than the 2 figures that are about to drop right now.
Right. You know, NECA, I highlighted this in my Kong video that once Kong is released, because it's going to appeal to the exact same people who have bought not only pretty much all of NECA's Godzilla stuff, but also the Pacific Rim. This will allow everyone to get a taste of what NECA can do when they're at full, when they're firing on all pistons, so to speak, when they're putting their A game into it. Because Kong, universally from everyone, speaks Steven. Everyone says it looks good. And having experience with their Ultimate Horror figures, with some of their good retro cloth stuff, this looks to be in that same caliber as those figures that I know are good. So knowing that those figures that I know are good are significantly better than their Godzilla offerings.
Yeah.
So Kong's going to be good. That being said, if they can do that level for 2004 Final Wars, absolutely do it. Otherwise, you know, hey, if they can do it one day, great. If not, I won't necessarily be heartbroken on that.
Well, speaking of the people that do have the license, can you please review Godzilla vs. Kong 2020 Playmates toys? I plan to. Steven, I don't know what your plan is for that, but I definitely plan to if I could get my hands on them. They're all going to be Walmart exclusives, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as of right now, the plan is, but the bigger issue for me is just going to be time when they come out. You know, what's going on in the world or my personal life then.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying for anything, you know, that we do. But, you know, we're planning on, you know, NECA Kong. You know, we're planning on Playmates Toys Kong. Whenever the SHMA drops Kong, you know, all that stuff for sure. Here's an interesting question. Could it be possible NECA might do their own take on Godzilla, similar to what they're doing with the new Kong, unique design and all? I like the idea of that. Honestly, I think that's a cool idea. However, you still need a license to do it.
Right. and the technicality with Kong, I believe, is that it's not necessarily the movie. I think it's the character that is in the public domain, so they're able to do that. Whereas Godzilla, not the case. And I do believe it was Tanaka's family or Honda's family who tried to sue Toho to get it into the public domain or into their estate. I forget who it was, but it was somebody involved in the original's production, and they lost on that. So Toho's got an iron grip, and it ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Here's something I want to really mention. It's not really a question or anything. Pacific Rim 3, The Curse of Otachi. Whatever that means, I don't know. But I would love to see more Pacific Rim movies, series, the Netflix series I haven't heard anything about in quite a while. And obviously give me more toys. I love that universe.
Mm-hmm. Completely agreed. My Ultimate Gypsy Danger sitting by itself, which is why it hasn't shown up in some of my videos. I used to use it as a size comparison. Randomly decided to blow up, so I threw it out. When I say randomly blew up, I picked it up one day, and not only did the knee fall off, but so did the elbow.
Oh, yeah, mine recently too.
Randomly. So that being said, I don't think any company has given the series the love that it deserves. And when I say that it deserves is because even if you're not necessarily a fan of the movie Pacific Rim, I'm not talking about Uprising because I fell asleep during my second watch through. Nelson, you're in the chat.
I love
what
it.
I'm talking about. The designs are interesting. The love put into all of the designs, fantastic. You know, Guillermo del Toro. It just deserves so much more. Bandai, Soul of Chogokin, Robot Spirits, Super Robot Chogokin, Metal Build, they have the possibility to do all that. I know some former employees at Bandai said, hey, we want to hit the ground running with this, and you know we're going to do it right. And they didn't. I know that generally speaking, today's Bandai, I really love. I think they're doing some fantastic things that they've been able to turn stuff around, but I really do want to hold all the companies responsible because they said that they were able to do a lot with this license, and they really haven't been. I know some of the folks who I've spoken with, Otachi is considered, it's a de facto Monsterarts. Everybody loves Land Otachi. If you have it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is of such a high quality figure.
I didn't have it.
Loose. Yeah, it's very good.
I have the winged one.
We don't have any amazing Pacific Rim figures, and there should be no reason for that.
I agree with you. I like the Robot Spirit stuff of the Uprising, but like you said, you're not really talking about that. But I do like them. They could have been better, but you know, you're right. We needed some sort of really good figure, but unless that Netflix series gets off the ground, I feel like it's grounded right now as a license. Like there's nothing like keeping it going. No comics, no nothing, and that's a little disheartening. You need buzz, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I would even like to dial it back just a little bit regarding the robot spirits. I'm even referencing the Pacific Rim Uprising ones. I think
Okay.
while good, they could have definitely been better. I
Yeah.
think the Plamos were good. They were good. I do have the DX
Mhm.
Gypsy Avenger, which is good,
Mhm.
but it's a model. It's not a figure.
Yeah. No, it's not a figure. No, definitely. See, we have any. Oh, that's interesting. Wasn't there supposed to be a new Otachi by Diamond Select or something? I remember seeing a picture years ago. No.
Mm. Ah.
I don't think so.
So to dial it back just a little bit to earlier in the conversation when we were talking about sometimes Bandai likes to put things in the vault but not necessarily cancel it. Alongside the Solo Chogokin Gypsy Danger, they showed Crimson Typhoon
Yes.
and Striker Eureka and Cherno Alpha. Alongside that, they showed Asafi Spirits DX Otachi to go along with those.
Did
So
they?
there is a picture of that is floating around. Yes, they did. I will try to find it, and I will try to even throw it up on my end.
Yeah, just do that because I don't remember that. I had
Yes.
seen a few of the Soul of Chogokin stuff in person that never came out, and they were beautiful, really beautiful. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get those because they were better than Gypsy Danger was. They were very, very nice. Crimson Typhoon was chef's kiss, like amazing, amazing looking in person. So yeah, I don't remember the Otachi, but it was definitely not Diamond Select. I've met with Diamond Select many times. There was never any plans past what they gave us, unfortunately. So yeah, it could have been good. You know, what was the one that they gave us called? I forget which one it was, but from
Hakuja?
Hakuja, that came out pretty decent. You know, not amazing, but decent enough where I would have liked to have seen more kaiju from them. But c'est la vie.
Yeah, so the reason why you didn't see that Otachi specifically is that it was shown at the Tamashi Nations that year where they were all shown off in Japan. So it was never shown in the US. It was shown once, and the only way that we were able to see it was in a very poor magazine scan highlighting the event.
Ah, okay, yeah,
So
I never saw it.
yes, that unfortunately should show everyone why it was not made, because nobody took pictures of it. Nobody was interested.
Ah, couldn't they have brought it here so I could have taken plenty of pictures that I wasn't supposed to take?
Yep.
Oh well. Is what it is. And I think on that note, maybe we should start winding this down.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Steven, what do you have coming up that kaiju fans might be interested in?
Coming up, I am working behind the scenes, so I can't say too much about potential deals with different early reviews and Ultrazilla. I think you are in the same ballpark with that particular shape there. This should ring a bell.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
So that should hopefully go over well. There are some D for reals, which unfortunately due to COVID-19 delayed coming in. So I am working on getting those up. And then the course as usual, everything that is coming out, it's going to go up on the channel.
Yeah, some related stuff that I got coming up, like really, really soon. Gonna be doing some Ultraman stuff. I recently finally got something in from Japan. I showed one off before. That's the Ultraman Z figure. This is a really cool line if you can't afford SH Figuarts, the Ultra Action figure line. Very nice, posable, very, very posable, honestly. So reviewing this, if you're into Ultraman Z, Stay tuned for that. I got a Ginga Sovi Spirits finally, which is actually really nice. I was showing it to Steven, and some more Ultraman stuff. And then hopefully we could get Godzilla stuff in. Hopefully my Burning Godzilla will come in at some point soon. So yeah, and then I'll see. I got a lot of backlog stuff still working through. But yeah, like Steven mentioned, there should be some con exclusives possibly coming up. We shall see. Either way, whether I could work out a deal for it or not, you're gonna see something here.
Yes, and I just covered up everything that's on the screen, but for those of you who are in my chat right now, I just threw up
Oh,
the
there it
Otachi.
is. Wow. Yep. I have never seen that before.
Yep. Not everybody, unfortunately, has, and that is why we never.
I don't remember that.
It.
Yeah. Oh man, that's disappointing.
Yep. Yes,
yeah. Alrighty. Well, on that note.
Yep. End the night on a sad note.
Oh. All right, guys. But we thank you all for joining us both here on this multi-stream watch along. Nothing crazy going on from the TAMASHI Features show that we hadn't seen, but there was a lot to talk about, so I'm glad we did this. For sure.
Absolutely, and this is something that I think we should do again.
Yeah.
So when?
Probably
not
soon.
sure.
Maybe
but we'll
soon.
talk about it.
Maybe soon. Oh, one last thing. This is an interesting one. Because I am getting it. Are you going to get any of the Reborn not King Kongs?
There is one based off of a particular Primal Rage character. It's already on pre-order.
Ah, so you're going to get that one. I'm going to get the Peter Jackson one to go with my Kong collection. It's kind of just a gorilla, but that's what that Kong was. So
yeah, I thought about it for the purposes of just scaling with Vanilla Ice, or the Vanilla Ices.
Yeah.
Wait, Ices? But I'm not a huge Kong fan, so.
Oh yeah, see, I am. So that's for me is cool. But I'll be looking forward to seeing your Primal Rage one.
Yes, definitely, it'll be fun.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in once again. You guys have a great night. Stay tuned for plenty more kaiju action on both of our channels. Till next time, peace out, peeps.
Yes, definitely. And be sure to subscribe to both Ultrazilla and STR.
That's good. That's good, Steven.
All right.
That's why we pay the big bucks.
Yep.
Peace out, peeps.
Well, I don't get paid at all. All right, everybody.
Good night, guys.